What is up, guys? My name is Creature Play and welcome to my newest player review video. I'd like to give a shout out to Killshot and Pancake for helping me grab some of this footage today. We are going to be reviewing the Rookie of the Year 99 overall Odell Beckham Jr. He's 5'11", so he's kind of short, 99 speed, 101 catch, 98 route, and 100 jumping. 7 to ground and pound style, 9 to short pass style. Some of his other stats in here, 79 carrying. His run blocking is kind of low at 53, and you'll see in game how that actually translates. Today is Sunday, June 26th, so prices will change, but right now on Xbox One he's going for about 700k, and on PS4 he's going for around 678,000. So with that, let's get started. So first we're going to start off with his deep ball one-on-one specifically. One of his saving graces in one-on-one, I'll say, is his speed. His speed is absolutely amazing on verticals, just, anything where you're throwing it really deep. That 99 speed really does come into play, and it was honestly kind of the only time I really had success with him doing verticals or one-on-one. Now, obviously he's not a bad card, but one-on-one was where I felt he was kind of lacking the most. I think a lot of it is due to his height. He is only 5'11". The corners I was testing him out against varied between Golden Ticket Sherman, Sig Sherman, Leon Hall, but I will say for sure that he definitely had more dropped passes one-on-one than he did completed passes. The successes that he had on one-on-one definitely were almost specifically coming because of his speed and his ability to burn his opponent. But when the cornerback was able to stay, neck and neck with him, he lost the battle probably on, I'd say, around 7 out of 10 times. He just wasn't able to come down with it as much as I would have wanted him to. But again, that speed is the big difference maker. So on things like press, or if he just happened to get a good release to begin with, which he does have, he was able to do it. But specifically just one-on-one, most of the time, if he wasn't able to get that burn, he wasn't going to catch it. Now, speaking of press, you can see right here, he has only 97 release. I mean, it's pretty high, but it's not, triple digit. But regardless, he has one of the best releases I've seen in the game. He's awesome getting off the line. Even against golden ticket cornerbacks, boss cornerbacks I tested him against, he was absolutely fantastic at being able to just either immediately get off the press, or if he wasn't able to get off, which you'll see coming up, because a lot of the times he would get caught up a little, but that speed again came into play. And even if he did get caught up, he was able to still get separation for the most part at the end. And even if it wasn't a total, a huge amount of separation, it was still enough for him to get that edge and to be able to make the catch. And he was getting decent animations when he was being pressed also. I actually got more animations with him when he was being pressed than I actually did throughout the normal games when he wasn't being pressed, running normal routes, etc. Speaking of spec catches, I know he has 104. I played 10 test games or so, maybe a little more, but this was the only spec animation I got aside from the presses, so I don't know what was up with that. I'm not saying he's not capable of it, but during the games that I played, that was the only one that I managed to get. His route running is absolutely incredible. That speed definitely helps, but his route running is at 98, which is pretty high to begin with also. Always able to get separation on pretty much any type of route, C routes, drags, posts, anything. He really just excelled at being very dependable and very reliable on any type of route to be able to look to first, and just depend on to know that if you needed a 3rd and long or 4th and long, something like that, he was almost always going to be open. Long posts, like I said, were not, no type of route was really an issue. I was actually even able to do a lot of plays that I wouldn't normally do because of the way that he would maneuver in between linebackers or safeties and stuff like that, where I just normally wouldn't be comfortable throwing it, but he was, I was basically trusting him, and he didn't let me down. We're getting into it a little bit late, but catching in traffic was not an issue for him really at all. I mean, it wasn't, absolutely perfect, but it was definitely reminiscent of a 99 overall wide receiver. I definitely thought he exceeded more catching the ball and then getting hit, as opposed to getting hit in midair while he was trying to catch the ball. But like I said, for the most part, it was decent all around. He also surprisingly broke a decent amount of tackles after the catch. He got some crazy animations like the one you'll see right here, and then he also does it in another clip coming up. but I just found him to be surprisingly, slippery. He wasn't trucking over people, obviously, but he definitely was, he's so fast, and he doesn't have a huge frame, but he definitely was able to slip out of some tackles that I personally wasn't expecting him to. So I was decently surprised, and I thought he did pretty awesome at it. Run blocking, I mean, he's got 52. You're not really going to be expecting much. I've got these two clips, so the one you just saw in this one right here, of him actually being able to hold it, but I had to cut out clips of him not being able to hold it because of the amount that I had. Let's face it, he's not a great run blocker. A lot of people are going to be using him in the slot because he's too short to use on the outside. So, I mean, if you're going to, obviously use speed run or ground and pound, just because especially the slot is such an important position if you're running inside zones or stuff like that. So just be aware of his lack of run blocking. Speed, 9.5 out of 10. I mean, you can really only go one faster. He felt super fast. Catching, 7 out of 10. Really had to do with his one-on-one battles when he wasn't being pressed. He just didn't win the ball a lot, and that's really all that it's coming down to. Catching in traffic, 8.5 out of 10. It wasn't horrible at all. I mean, but it wasn't super, perfect, but it was definitely reliable. Route running, 9.5 out of 10. I don't know what could be a perfect 10, but he's pretty close. He has very crisp, very nice route running. Spec catch, I'm only giving a 5 out of 10 just because I did not manage to catch anything other than the ones that you saw in this video. And with 104, I was just expecting a lot more. So don't hate me. It's just my experience, my opinion. I'm not saying that I am correct, but just from what I had, that's what I give him. Release, 9 out of 10. No issues there. So overall, my assessment of him, he's not a bad card in the least, but I don't think for his price, he is worth it. I mean, I've had the 96 Brandon Cooks, and I love that card. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't think that they play any differently. Honestly, I really don't. Cook still gets crazy spec catches. I mean, he gets as many as at least I did testing this Odell out, but Cooks actually is surprisingly a really awesome, great receiver, and he's great at the things that Odell is also exactly great at: release, route running, and spec, and speed, obviously. So for the price difference, 640 to 149, I think Cooks is the better way to go. Obviously, Odell is a slot receiver, so I understand that one-on-one battles aren't a huge issue, but just, for his stats and, the price, I was expecting more. If you are, other than the name or a theme team, I don't know, I'd say go Cooks. As always, thank you guys for watching. Take care.